what's up, witches, warlocks, sorcerers, adepts, friends, fans, family, and followers? I am Reverend Frater Crow from Celestial Oddities, Knights of the Nephilim, and Uncovering the Underground radio shows, as well as my music for Skippy Yickum, Syntax, and Souls of Aries, my paranormal groups, Frater Crow's Solitary Alignment, Celestial Oddities Paraseekers, and also my teachings and lessons in the occult and esotericism and mystic arts. I decided to make a new section and chapter to my videos that I do. I already do music and other things from time to time within video form. I do updates and news. I want to continue to do that, but I wanted to add a section of product reviews and unboxings of different things that are sent to me to check out in my ritual arts and rites, as well as just everyday products, clothing, and everything else as well. So if you are a company owner out there and would like to have me do a solid and truthful review on your product, would love to check it out. I do give honest feedback, and I do wear the clothing. I do support the companies that support me and vice versa. Today we have our first unboxing. So let me reach over here. I have a package here. As you can see, it is sealed and not sure exactly what we got in here, but it is from TarotArts. Now, TarotArts is a wholesaler of tarot and oracle decks of all different kinds. I mean, looking on their site, I've seen probably over, probably 80 to 100 decks. Beautiful decks. Some that are not easily able to come across. Some are very common. Some are cheap. Some are expensive. Now, when I say cheap, they're still very well made. So we got a package from them today. We're going to go ahead and open that up and see what we got. Maybe discuss it a little bit. So let's go ahead here. Let's see if I can get it open. All right, within the bag, we got 2 boxes. All right, let's take a look here. Now, for those, obviously I think most people know what tarot is, but if you are kind of unfamiliar with how it works, it's the art of divination, which is foretelling things to come, getting deeper insight within your life and within the life around you. Great way of doing so is with oracle cards or tarot cards. There are many different forms of divination, from scrying and cartomancy to many things in between. Sorry, I got distracted pulling the stuff out here, but it's something I've been doing for quite some time. I don't do readings for others, but I do daily and weekly and monthly readings for myself throughout different rituals and rites that I do, not only during ritual, but just everyday use of tarot. I love to use it in correlation with spiritual communication when talking to a specific entity, doing a reading and asking that entity to give you insight either into the working that you're doing with them or things going on in your life or things to come. So opening the first box here, as you see, just open that up. Got nice wrapping paper here, packaged very nicely. Take the paper off. Slide back a little bit. Our first deck, all right. Our first deck is one of the most famous decks of tarot there is. It's actually one of the best-selling tarot decks of all time, I believe, and that is Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot deck. An amazing deck, if you don't know about this, has a lot of components of Hermeticism in it and Kabbalism, as that was his strong suit. Crowley heavily focused on Hermetic Kabbalism, and he mixed different symbolism from those backgrounds and theologies in his oracle deck and his tarot deck. Has a lot of Golden Dawn feel and picturesque pieces to it. I look forward to opening this up. I've known about this deck for a very long time. I've read about this deck. I've never actually owned this specific deck. I do own a lot of decks. This is not one that I own, so I'm actually very excited about that. All right, so let's open it up. On the back, we have number 7, the Chariot. As you see, that's a light shining on a little bit weird, but Very beautiful art. Nice constructed box. Layers upon layers of wrappings, which is nice. Comes with a little booklet. Not bad. It serves its purpose. I mean, within tarot, I mean, I've been doing it for so long, I really don't need the booklet itself. Some give you, alterations of how they read the cards and things like that. But I mean, it follows a normal, common structure. Not the best deck or book I've seen with a deck. It's kind of just a little pamphlet compared to an actual book. Some of the ones I have, which I don't think I have one close to me right now, are actual books that come with it. So, could be stronger in that regard, but it's also something that's not necessarily needed if you're an experienced, card reader, and most people going to be using the Thoth deck are going to be more experienced. So certainly not a downfall of any means. It does come with a letter here. Just showing the different things that were sent. And it's signed by either the owner or whoever sent that, so thank you so much. One of the cool things it looks like they did is they sent a separate velvet bag for the deck itself to be able to carry it. And I'm wondering if they did that with whatever else they sent. So let's throw that aside real quick. Let's rip open the deck. I don't want to take too much time looking through it because it looks like there's other stuff here, and I don't want to make this video too long. But if you are listening in, like I said, this will be what the channel is really pertaining to, is my radio episodes and shows, my music and music videos, upcoming, events, news, ideas, topics, unpackaging and unboxing, product reviews, and lessons and teachings as well on the occult. So if you follow me, you know my background, you know a good bit about me. If you don't, certainly stick around. There's a lot to unpack there. I've been very involved in the occult for quite some time, about 18 years now. Still a neophyte. I always call myself that. I don't believe in holding titles that are beyond me. I'm always learning and always happy to learn. So let's rip this open. Nice size deck, a little bit bigger. Some cards are smaller, more playing card size. Some are larger. This is a larger deck. I didn't know how big it was, only ever seeing it online. But as you can see, kind of a nice size. I have big hands, and it's pretty large. Should be a common 78 card spread. Let's take a look. Yep, 78 cards is standard. 22 trump cards of the major arcana, and then the remaining being of 4 different suits. So we'll just flash some of the cards for you here. I know you're not getting the best picture because the light above me is kind of putting a glare on it, but just giving you kind of an idea of the beauty of these cards. Now, the great thing about card reading is there's so much to take from it. You can not only take the reading and connection from the art itself, but you can use numerology to connect the different cards in the reading that you're doing. You can take the actual meaning of the cards themselves beyond just the artwork and symbolism and numerology of it. So there's a lot of different ways to connect the routes of the cards individually together as a pattern. So it's very interesting, the different ways that you can get depth from these cards, whether you're reading for yourself or reading for someone else. On the back, you have the Rose Cross, obviously associated with Hermetic Kabbalism and also associated with the Golden Dawn and ceremonial magic. So I'm very excited to jump into this deck. I mean, just flip into any one specific card. Very beautiful. The Prince of Cups right there. Awesome card. I'm very excited to look through these a little bit further when I have a little bit more time. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this back in the box. We're going to put the booklet back in there, and I'll still look through the booklet. I always like to see if there's hidden gems. The reason I say that is, as I said, most cards follow a specific arrangement, but I have the Woodland Tarot behind me, or the Wildwood Tarot, I believe, and it has a lot of different things that a normal deck doesn't have as far as reading points and depth of their cards. So sometimes it's very good to read through that and get their interpretation of the cards, but you always have to go with what you feel as a practitioner and as someone who is reading. So I'll stick that aside, but as I said, very nice bag. We'll begin to open box number 2. And as I said, this is TarotArts.com. Check them out. Awesome products. Very quick in shipping. 2 days, I think. 2 days to get to me, which is impressive. I mean, that's quick. It's coming from California, so across the United States in 2 days. So 2 more came through here, both wrapped up in nice paper. Very secured, very protected. We'll go with this one first. We have the Universal Weight Tarot deck, the most famous of tarot decks, the one that pretty much all practitioners either have or started out with, which I think someone could use this their entire time, throughout their entire life of reading tarot, would never need another deck. But obviously we like to look at different artwork and get different symbolism from it. But this is a beautiful deck. I like this one, if I can open it. This one is more your playing card size, so it's smaller. It fits in your hand better. It's not so large and bulky. They both serve their purpose, but sometimes it's nice to just be able to flip real easily. This is Drawings by Pamela Coleman Smith, recolored by Mark Hanson Roberts, and this is US Game Systems Incorporated, who's the one that made this deck. This is a taking of the original and recoloring, and it turned out really nice. Looks like from the cover of it. It has that old school feel to it, but it also has a recoloring, so it's a little bit more, it jumps out a little bit more on the page or on the card itself. So once again, I guess a common theme you'll see here is that it is a common 78 card spread, 22 major arcana, and then the 4 suits. The back of these cards is just stars, which is kind of cool. Universal weight. Gives a couple just regular cards that just have some information on it. And then you start off with the traditional, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot, and so forth. So let me put this back together. Looks like a very nice deck. Like I said, very easy to just shuffle for, in your hand. I don't want to shuffle them right now. I want to look through them first. But colored very nicely. I have several weight decks, so it'd be nice to add this to the other decks that I have here. It comes with a tiny little booklet as well, so not a large booklet. I actually have a weight book, which is nice. So, it'd be nice to see it come with something like that, but the book itself was like a $15 book, so I don't think they're going to sell that with this unless they up the price of this. But once again, very nice deck. Very excited about that. This one, it does not look like came with its own bag, so neither of the next two did. I believe that there was just one bag for all 3. Yeah, which is fine. I mean, honestly, I think it could probably fit all 3 in there. So let's open it up and see real quick, and then we'll look through our last one, which I'm very excited about. So once again, you can see the size difference from the weight deck compared to the Aleister Crowley Thoth deck. I mean, it's much, much larger as far as the Thoth deck. Put them both in there, see if they both fit. I don't think we're going to get all 3 of the decks. This next one's very large. It's not a standard size, and it's something that I'm very, very excited about. These 2 both do fit in the bag, so you can take 2 for on the go if you need to. This next one is the Jungian Tarot deck, or from Carl Jung. I can't talk right now. Great philosopher. Helped spark a lot of depth of mind for a lot of practitioners, philosophers, theologians out there, and just free thinkers. All right. Yeah, beautiful box to it. It's shorter and bulky, as you see. And this one goes along with other things. There's other decks to make up the series of this. There is a book you can buy to go along with this. It doesn't come with a book unless they give you a pamphlet. I do know that there's an actual book that you can purchase with this. You could do it singly by itself without the book or without the other decks, but it does come in a series of different things. This is from Robert Huang. And this one, made from US Game Systems as well. Includes 78 card deck and 44-page booklet. So it actually does come with a booklet itself, but I know that to expand on that, there is a book you can actually buy. This one's pretty exciting. This one has absolutely beautiful artwork. When I selected the 3 decks, and this is, I want to make a notation here, folks. When I said, let's see what we got, I wasn't sure what extras and things they would add to the packages, but I did pick out these 3 decks as far as the 3 that I wanted sent. So I don't want to act like this is one that I wasn't aware of what was coming. This case I was, but there are several packages coming up from different companies that I have no idea what's going to be sent to me, which I'm very excited for. It's always fun to have that surprise. But as you can see, larger size deck, still hand size, not exactly playing card size, but also not as big as the Thoth deck. If my camera would capture the light better. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. So you have beautiful background, beautiful artwork. Now, the difference with this book is you have to be a little bit more experienced with this one unless you're using more of an oracle deck, because there is no notation of what the card is. So you would know that right off the bat, you know, you're either dealing with the Magician or the Hierophant, or you're dealing with the Lovers or the Tower. You would have to know just by looking at the artwork. So you have to get familiar with, obviously, the cards themselves in depth, which is great because, you know, that just expands on how much you know with your deck. You're not counting on looking at the numbers and the suits of the cards and what the booklet says. You have to really know the cards in and out. But these cards are beautiful. For example, here, give me a second. So like the Hierophant, beautiful card, a lot of symbology on here. And it goes back to Jung's, you know, theory of the combined consciousness or the ultimate consciousness, where we're all connected on a stream higher than we realize right now. And individually, we all come with our own egos and our own characters that we play and live out as. But if you cut that ego away and you cut those filters away and you get to a higher level of consciousness, we are all together in one combined ultimate consciousness. And these cards play off of that and really give you symbology, you know, to really connect and tap back into that. For instance, right here, you have the 5 of Cups. Beautiful card. Artwork on this is absolutely phenomenal. Very excited to work with this deck. And all 3 decks, obviously, but this is awesome. So thank you so much to TarotArts for this wonderful package, for the quick and amazing shipping. Everything was secure, no damage to anything. Beautiful velvet bag to put everything in. Each one came with a booklet to be able to study further if needed. And I, you know, excited to jump into working with all 3 of these decks, along with my other decks as well. Can't have too many decks, folks. So if you liked what you've seen today, please leave a set of comments, share it around. Much love. Have a lot more coming your guys' way, as you know. I am Frater Crow once again, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you so much.